101.5 FM. If you were a full-time singer, how would you like, and if you were a male singer, how would you like to be in just this last year, be the winner of the National Male Vocalist of the Year, Victorian and National Country Music Awards, the winner of the Male Vocalist National, a finalist, in the Victorian Album of the Year, a finalist in the Victorian Entertainer of the Year, and 2012 Star Maker finalist. How'd you like to do that?
Pretty cool.
How'd you like to have a new album out that's going great guns?
Well, I think I know who you're talking about.
Well, we do, and Adam Toms had once had on his opening line on his bio that read, "Is he country, rock, pop, blues, or all of the above? Let's leave that for you to decide." Well, years later, and Tomsy, I like that, Tomsy declares he is definitely more country rock than his earlier years, but still doesn't mind mixing it up and here and there. And he's going to be at Urban Country Music Festival this year, so why not let's catch up with the man who's holding my breath, and that's Adam Toms. How are you, mate?
I'm fantastic. What an intro.
How many segues did he get in there, do you reckon?
I was wondering where I'd jump in. It was segue after segue. It was fantastic.
Don't tell him that. The head will be getting bigger and bigger.
I've been working on that for about a month now, coming up with that, and I think it wasn't for the tongue twisting. It would have been brilliant.
I loved it. I wish I was recording it. Damn it.
It's okay. It'll be up on a podcast in a couple of days. Hey, Adam, just with that introduction that Darren just said then was a bit wild, but I did pick up on a few things. Like you're a bit confused. Am I country? Am I rock? Am I folk? Am I this? Am I that? Today, what is country? It's a bit of everything.
Good question. Yeah. Yeah, look, I used to call myself a schizophrenic muso. I didn't really know what I was, but... music's music, and what you just said, what is country music? It's such a massive umbrella, isn't it? And, so I think you can be, it's just hard to say. I mean, a lot of people have got their own opinion, I guess, of what country is, and that all it is what country is to them, So what country is to me is different to what it is for you guys. So, I'm happy with what I'm doing, and as far as, I guess I'm still investigating a bit and finding exactly where it is that I'm going to squeeze into, but definitely that country rock sort of vibe with a bit of a blues sort of a feel. But there you go. See, I'm talking now, and I do sound schizophrenic.
So what sort of inspiration? What musos in the past have given you inspiration in whichever direction you're going, and your friend?
Yeah, look, as I was growing up, I didn't grow up with a traditional country music background. I grew up listening to bands like Creedence and the Eagles or Led Zeppelin or the Beatles, and you name it. I had such a varied sort of upbringing as far as music goes. My dad used to be in a band, and in the 60s and 70s, and he just sung all the songs that were around at the time. So, as I was growing up, that's what I used to listen to. It's the music he loved, it's the music I loved. So, I mentioned the Eagles and Creedence and that, and a lot of people consider the Eagles and Creedence to be country as well. So, I guess it depends on what sort of area you're talking about with those bands. So, it was there, but definitely not a traditional sort of country upbringing.
And that's like at the station here, we have a lot of different country shows. We have like a traditional country, and that's more so where I think you're talking country and western when you're really going back there. And we have Country Sunrise, which is really pulling the country music from the 60s and 70s. And our show brings us up to modern country, which is basically what's going around today.
Yeah, I think, I joke around sometimes, so I don't play that western stuff,
Two types of country, you got country and you got western.
Yeah, look, modern country, you nailed it, I think. It's just the way. I mean, I've got songs, you mentioned before, Darren, I've got a new album. Well, that album will be superseded by the end of this year with a new album that I'm working on. And it's definitely that sort of, I guess, a bit of a cross between Brooks and Dunn, a little bit of Randy Houser and a little bit of I don't know. I've written a couple of songs with the boys from McAllister Kemp, Troy Kemp and Drew McAllister. So there's probably got to be the influence of there in there as well. So there's some party stuff, and there'll be some deep and meaningful stuff as well. So yeah, all under that umbrella of modern country.
And I'm not comparing, like apples with apples, but when I hear this album that I've got here, this is Holding My Breath, it is so different from the one that we just played there, Break Another Man. That is, to me, reminiscent of country rock, puts me in like around the Craig Morrison mark, that sort of a mark there. But then when we play Holding My Breath, which we're going to go out with, that one's, to me, sort of puts me into more of the Garth Brooks side of Adam Toms. So, I mean, it's a great album because it's showing not just one side of you.
Yeah, absolutely. And, that album came together over, probably a good year or so of compiling songs, and I recorded it with two different producers. One was Doug Roberts, who people would know, bands like the Bad Loves, or, Chris Wilson, or he also with John Farnham. And then the other half it was with Matt Fell, who people would know as Golden Guitar Producer of the Year this year, and winning Album of the Year last year. So he certainly brought a different flavour to what I was doing, and that's who I've decided to go with for the next album is Matt Fell, and we've already started working on it and got a bunch of songs together, and I guess you could say the first half dozen songs have been laid down, and we're just putting them all together, and I'm really happy with what's happening so far.
You said you're putting down the new album. What's it like for you, inspiration as writing? You've mentioned a couple of people you're writing with, but do you go on a camp, lock yourself down? Is it something you get up in the middle of the night with a tune? How does it work for you?
Probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I finished off a 9-month camp, which was a trip around Australia that I did with my family. And, some songs came out of that. We were living in, my wife and I and two little boys were living in Melbourne for about 12 years. And we grew up in country Victoria, and we moved to Melbourne, 12 years ago. And we were both working full-time, and obviously we had the kids, or at this point we had one on the way, our second one on the way, and I said to my wife, it's just time for something different. I wanted to give the music a bit more of a push, and I guess Australian old-fashioned way is be fair income about the music, and what better way than to do it, like a lot of guys are doing it today, and people like Slim Dusty did it in the old days, and that is just get in the car and caravan and just travel around and play as many places as I could and see as much of Australia as I could. So it was such a great experience, spending life on the road, and from that, lots of songs came out of it, and some great co-writing sessions, particularly in when I was in New South Wales, looking up some great people, and Liana Rose, and also Felicia Urquhart as well. I mentioned before, the boys from McAllister Camp. So it's such a I'm so excited in the first place, to be able to write with guys like that, but also just for me, it is something different, because that album that you were speaking about before, Holding My Breath, that's all songs written by me, and I guess I'm proud of that, and I'm really happy with it, and I guess for this one moving forward, it's just time to sort of branch out a little bit, and I've been saying song is king at the end of the day. People relate to a song and the singer. They don't necessarily relate to exactly who it's written by, or unless they want to get right into the credits of the album, it's the song and the person singing it that people relate to. So I've been really, really lucky, and also happy to be writing with other people and getting some songs down. Is
this going to be your first Urban Country Music Festival?
It is, yes. I'm really excited. I haven't even been, so being a Mexican down in Victoria, I haven't been up to Queensland to the Urban Festival. I've got I've got family on the sunny coast and on the Gold Coast, so I've definitely got some good holiday places to stay at. So looking forward to catching up with some family, but also I've got 2 gigs at the festival. Saturday I'm at the truck stop stage, which is at 1 o'clock, and also on Sunday, a bit early in the morning, this one, 9:45.
And then you're going to be out there at the big Saturday night concert going, oh no, it's not going to be good in the morning.
I might have to be a good boy, I think, on Saturday night to be able to pull out some songs on the 9:45 at the Village stage on Sunday. But what I'm excited about is that I'm actually playing with a band, which, a lot of the time as a solo artist, it's really easy just to turn up and plug in your guitar and do a solo acoustic gig, and that's probably 95% of the work that I do at the moment. But I've got hold of a mate of mine that I met in Toyota Star Maker, Bob Corbett, and I'm using his band as my band. So
the Ruggrass Band.
Yeah,
They're fantastic.
Yeah, so I can't wait, and I think they're looking forward to doing something a little bit different as well, because Bob's music and my music are a little bit different to each other. So the guys, they're all fantastic musos. So yeah, it'll be I was only going to do the band set on the Sunday morning, and I thought, well, I might as well crank it. We're all going to be there on the Saturday, so I'll do the band set as well on the
so you're going to
Saturday.
get the band at the truck stop as well. A bit of a scoop there. Actually, when you just said that the band were going to do something different, I thought, they're going to put shoes on. Yeah, I just love them. I love them. They know we do.
Looking forward to that. Yeah.
Well, the village stage, the people that have been at Urban regularly, of course, this is the second year that Urban's going to be held down at the historical village. The great thing about the village stage, as you're performing out, right to your right-hand side is the merchandise tent. And so straight after you've seen Adam Toms, you'll be able to jump over the merchandise tent, pick up a copy of Holding My Breath, and go and get a photo with Adam and get him to sign it, because this is a fantastic album, and Adam Toms is going to be doing some great things over the next couple of years with Australian country music.
No pressure at all.
None at all.
You better perform now, fella, let me tell you.
Well, now that you've got the band, you better be very good.
I've got to bring the A game.
Yeah.
It sure is. But we will be catching up with you. We'll come and say hello and put faces to names and names to faces and all that sort of stuff. But we'll be all over. And the best thing about what you're doing here at Urban this year is you do have that one at the truck stop at 1 o'clock on the Saturday. So you've got Saturday morning to have a little look around, but you've got Saturday afternoon to get out, because I'll tell you what, it's a fantastic venue that they've got out there at the historical village. So you'll be able to get around there, have a look, check out some of the different acts before you have to get up bright and early next morning.
Oh, thanks for the reminder. If you could send me a reminder on Sunday morning, that'd be great as well.
No worries, I'll be on to you.
We'll meet you for coffee at the Songwriters Cafe. How's that?
All right, no worries.
Well, Adam, we're going to go out with Holding My Breath. So how about you introduce it for our lovely folk listeners?
You're listening to Tracy and is it still the Big D?
Still is, yeah. I haven't lost it all yet, but yeah.
This is Adam Toms, and this is the first song off my album called Holding My Breath. Keep holding my breath. I don't even know the name of my song.
Oh, you know what? We're just going to click the button. There we go. Thanks, Adam. We'll catch up with you in a couple of weeks.
See you later.
See you, mate.